In this thing that we call the conspiracy culture, or what I call the ACT realm, alternative conspiracy truth, ACT, ACT realm, but you can call it what you like, conspiracy culture, or ACT realm, or anything else. One of the most amusing things is the number of people who think they're awake and they talk as though they've discovered this great truth, but they still believe in ancient Egypt, ancient Rome, ancient Greece, ancient China, the ancient Mayans, you name it, they still believe it. Complete fairy tales, they still believe it. And then when someone like me comes along and says, yeah, but what's your evidence for these beliefs? How many of them get so defensive so quickly? And I think it's because part of them knows they haven't really checked the sources. They've just heard a story from a storyteller, whether that's a mainstream storyteller or a so-called alternative storyteller, and they've basically taken the story on faith. And then they'll post facto rationalize their belief. They'll say, oh, but too many people would have to be in on it, or, oh, but we've got the ruins, all this kind of stuff. But if you just sit down and go through this one by one, it doesn't take long to realize that these are all fallacious modes of thinking as well. For instance, just because there are ruins in, say, Egypt, doesn't mean that they're thousands of years old. So the question becomes, how do you know that they're thousands of years old? Then you'll get an appeal to an authority, either a mainstream or an alternative authority. This is not a difficult process to understand once you've had time to think about it. But most people, even people who've been in conspiracy culture or the ACT realm for years and years, they've never really been exposed to this idea that yes, indeed, all of your ancient history is all a fairy tale, all of it, from start to finish, top to bottom, complete hoax. I saw this in the CNN just the other day. This is from November 15, a couple of days ago. It says, Greek archaeologists uncover first remnants of ancient city of Tenea. And this is from CNN. I'll put a link in the info box below for you to go and check it out. And when I saw this, I was reminded of, oh yeah, that's right. They keep finding all of these new ancient ruins constantly every year. Pretty much every month of every year, there's a team of so-called experts discovering a new ancient ruin, a new ancient city. How is this possible? Yeah, gee, I wonder, how is this possible? A team of Greek archaeologists has just uncovered the first remnants of a once lost city. Ooh, believed to have been founded by former Trojan prisoners of war in the 12th or 13th century BC. Well, by crikey, that's 3,000 years ago. Excavations close to the village of Chiliomodi in the southern peninsula region of the Peloponnese unearthed a wide variety of artifacts which indicate the presence of the wealthy ancient city of Tenea. And it just goes on and on and on like this. Now my question to you, to those of you who still believe this complete and utter horse shit, is why do you believe this? Why? Is it because you were programmed when you were a child to believe in the great ancient Greeks and the great ancient Romans and the great ancient Egyptians, yeah? Or the great ancient Chinese with their Great Wall of China that brings in millions of tourists and untold amounts of money? Is that why you believe? Why is it? Now here's the thing. You say to me, listen JLB, I'm happy with my beliefs, man. Leave me and my belief in ancient history alone. I say that's cool, no problemo. We all need to believe in something, and the creation myths that we're given, whether it's by scientism with the Big Bang and evolution and all this other kind of nonsense, or from religion with the young earth creationism and 6,000 years and the flood and all that kind of stuff, or the so-called alternative scene with ancient aliens or panspermia or aliens helping humans along, or any of this stuff. Whatever it is, humans need creation stories, most of them. And so far as I could tell, pretty much all of them. Take away a human's creation stories and it needs to replace it with something. Which is why the main response that I get is, well, JLB, if the way we got here isn't what I believe, then you have to give me something new to believe. Okay, they don't say it in those words, but that's their basic point. They refuse to countenance the possibility that their creation myth is indeed a myth unless I can give them something better. So if your question is, JLB, can you give me something better? The answer is yes, but I'm not going to do that. Because what's the point? For you to understand how we really got here and what's really going on, you've first got to deprogram all of the bullshit lines of coding in your brain that have been put there over the past 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Okay? Unless and until you're willing to do that, then anything that I have to tell you or show you will be useless. A waste of your time and energy, a waste of my time and energy. So with all of that said, if you'd like to know more, I'll put a link in the info box below to a page on my website with a ton of free material. Won't cost you a cent, but it will cost you time and effort. You'll have to think about what's being presented, mental energy that some people do not have. But if you are able to apply your attention, think about the questions that are being asked, give yourself honest answers, if you're able to do that, I think you'll enjoy this material. For instance, ancient Egypt, why would they lie? Free video. Do you still believe in ancient Egypt? Free video. The history hoax is like Jenga. Free video. Is ancient Greece a fairy tale? Free video. Ancient Greece, nobody died, nobody got hurt. Period. Free video. Did the Library of Alexandria really exist? Free video, and that's one of the more important ones that I've uncovered. This great Library of Alexandria, classic case study in how bullshit is propagated to the masses, and they just believe it. They all believe there's this ancient library with all of this knowledge. Why do they believe this? They don't know. But I do, and I explain it in that video. Free video. And on it goes. If you like to read, there's articles. I explain where the field of history came from. I talk about some of the great ancient Greek historians and where their bullshit... It's all very easy to prove too, by the way. That's the amazing thing. The fact that I'm the first person to come along and to connect all the dots, to this day, it amazes me. Because I'm not even that smart, but I've been able to show anyone who wants to look at it, the sources for the stories and show you how those sources are bullshit. So how has no one done this before me? That's a good question that I can't give a good answer to, but it does puzzle me. How has no one worked this out before? It's not that hard once you start. I just think maybe no one's looking. Maybe no one wants to know that their bullshit creation stories are bullshit. I don't know. Anyway, this is probably one of the best articles I've ever written, and by best I just mean the most important. I show you the source. It took me hours and hours to trace through the sources, but I show you, I document it. The work is all done, and you can check that out. So the link is in the info box below. I'll also put a link to this bullshit article from CNN. Oh no, JLB, they lie to us about Boston bombings and Sandy Hook and all these things, but they wouldn't lie to us about history, mate. Why would they lie about that? Gee, why would they lie about history? Gee, I wonder. Why, I wonder. Oh, come on, mate. Too many people would have to be in on it. For them to be lying about history, there'd have to be lots of people in on that. Oh, yeah, you mean like 9/11? Yeah. Yeah, okay, whatever. If you want to hold on to your beliefs of ancient history, by all means do that. But if you're willing to let go of those bullshit beliefs, like I said, check the link in the info box below. So on the 17th of November 2018, John the Bond signing off. And until next time, you guys, take care of yourselves.